Hello and welcome once again to a Retro Perspective podcast. This is episode number 4, and joining me again is Josh.
Hi guys.
And this time we have Jimmy.
Hello there.
And you're a games collector yourself, aren't you? You do a bit of retro games collecting.
Indeed, my friend. Indeed, I am.
What do you focus on in your collection?
Mainly SNES games, really.
Yeah,
I'm loving my SNES games. Yeah, I mean, I've always like picked up my SNES more than anything, I'd say. So that's my fave.
How strong's your collection? How many games have you got now, Jimmy? For your SNES?
I don't know. You're testing me now, mate. I'd probably say going on about 40. I've got about the same amount in Mega Drive games as well.
Cool.
And if you had to pick one and bin the rest
of SNES games,
yeah.
Chrono Trigger.
No. I would probably say UN Squadron because it was one of the first I played, and it was just like, I don't know. I keep going back to it. It was like one of the first games I ever played when I was about 4. I played it with my old man. He got me into it. So yeah, I love that game.
So we're going to be covering, as usual, a bit of gaming news and discussing what we think about it. First up, I heard the other day that Witcher 3 is one of the top grossing games on Steam, despite it not having any loot boxes whatsoever.
Games don't need loot boxes, man.
Hey!
Yeah. Well, that just definitively proves it, doesn't it? All these companies going on about, we need to make up the money.
Yeah.
And I'm playing Witcher 3 at the moment, and it is a gigantic game. They put so much into that game.
You can tell they put the hearts and souls into it when making it. So that's why people have bought it. That's why, because it's such a beautiful game, and you know, when they make games like that, they are going to sell millions and millions of copies because, you know, it's worth it. You don't just make like a 10p game and then say, all right, you can have all this extra content for like £1, you know. No, we don't want to do that. Just make a good game and we'll buy it.
Kind of like what we touched on the other week, isn't it, Jay? That's, I guess, what we were saying, that rather than it being a way of them making more money, it's more of an excuse actually to not develop a game fully.
Yeah, definitely.
In all fairness, they did bring expansions out, but they're like games in themselves. You know, they're great as well. So
yeah, I've been playing it like probably over 100 hours now, and I'm nowhere near the level that is required to go into the expansions. So.
I think I spent most of my time on it playing Gwent. To be fair, that again, and it's a game in itself.
Yeah,
I love my card games and games always like from Final Fantasy VIII, Triple Triad.
So I was in CEX the other day, and I was just looking, browsing PS2 games. I usually have a good look at them.
Yeah.
And I noticed something funny. Like, I was looking at the covers and I was thinking, these all look pretty like, blurry. Like, is there something on all the covers or something? Are they just dirty or old? And I carried on looking, and I finally realised that a large percentage of these games in CEX that I was looking at, the covers had been reprinted.
What, did you ask why?
I didn't ask. No, I probably should have done. But I think it's pretty obvious why. They've got loads of discs that people bring in. Games without boxes or without covers. So they thought, oh well, we might as well be earning money on this. Why don't we just reprint the covers? I don't really have a massive problem with this as long as it looks good. But these covers were like really blurry, and as a game collector, I just think these are going to be like flooding eBay soon.
It's not nice from a collector's point of view, I suppose. But I reckon what they've done is they've gone on eBay, seen 100 PS2 games unboxed for sale, and thought, let's have them. Let's print some covers and make some money.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. We did see that job lot of Resident Evil 6s, remember, Jake? 600 copies of Resi 6.
They were in boxes, brand new, though. They'd not been
wrapped, and that's the way they'll probably stay forever because nobody will buy it. Terrible game. I mean, I don't really have a problem with it so long as the pricing reflects it. If they're then trying to charge the same price for those games as the ones with the original covers in them, I have a problem with that, because that's like trying to pull the wool over people's eyes.
Yeah.
But if they're like saying, right, we got this coverless disc, rather than giving it in just a little plastic sleeve or something, let's print some stuff out for the boxers and we'll charge a little less than an original, then I wouldn't have a problem with it if that's the case. It would be interesting to find out, actually, if that is the case.
I bet they charge full price.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I also reckon.
if that's the case, yeah, I have a problem with that, because I think that's trying to deceive people, in it. It's trying to.
It certainly felt like that when I was in the shop. Like, you know, I could have even just got like, you know, looked over something, thought, oh, I need this in my collection. You know, some of the games are at 50p or something like that. You know, which wouldn't have been a big deal, but at the end of the day, I could have taken that home, looked at it more closely, and been like, hold on, this isn't even like a proper copy of the game.
We should do a Dispatches style undercover. One of us can get a job at Computer Exchange.
Panorama.
What's going on here? Panorama special.
Okay, next up, I don't know if you guys are interested in the Yakuza series.
I've never played it myself.
I'm sure you've heard of Shenmue, Jimmy.
Oh, Shenmue. Me and Josh go way back with Shenmue.
Absolutely, yeah.
I love that game.
It's basically the spiritual successor to Shenmue.
Nice.
So Yakuza 6 is coming out soon. However, they delayed Yakuza 6, which is good news for me, because Ni no Kuni 2 was coming out like a day before.
Yeah.
So I can now play Ni no Kuni 2. I don't have to worry about that. So Yakuza 6 released on December 8th, 2016 in Japan, which it always takes a while to come out over here. But this year it's coming out April 17th.
So is Yakuza a bit like Shenmue, where you like go around learning different fighting moves and stuff, or is it changed from that?
It does have a fighting system, yeah. Not exactly like Shenmue, but more in the way you talk to people, interact with people, and it's very story focused. Like the story is the main thing in Yakuza, basically.
Yeah, I really liked that about Shenmue. That you were learning to become a better fighter as you went through it, like learning all these different combos and stuff. And the story was cool as well in that.
I think it was the first game to really, really make an effort with like an interactive style gameplay, certainly on a console anyway, where it's unbelievably interactive with the world around you. Everything.
Yeah, arcade machines and stuff.
Oh, so good. Playing the little arcade games and getting the bus to work as a forklift driver.
Shadow of the Colossus has been remastered.
I've seen about this.
Yeah, good reviews, obviously, because it is an insanely good game. However, this is one of them things that just annoys me. Like Final Fantasy X came out on the PS4 after I'd already got the HD remaster on the PS3. And I know that this is like completely new engine. It's been redone from the ground up kind of thing. But again, I just feel like, you know, they shouldn't have released it on PS3. They should have just waited. And it would have been a lot bigger of a thing now.
Yeah.
And then people wouldn't have wasted the money on a PS3 version. That's now obsolete, basically.
It does look really nice, though.
Well, me and Josh have talked about remasters in the past. What do you think about constant remasters, Jimmy?
Well, I don't think there should be constant remasters, which there seems to be a lot of these days. I think the biggest... Well, there's been a few games where they just keep spewing it out, but obviously Skyrim is just, they took it to a next level with that. I think it's like become a joke, but then again, it is a really good game, and I would like to play it on the Switch. I don't know if you've, I know we're going off course a bit with this, but if you've seen Skyrim on the Switch, it does look really good. But
well, I played Skyrim on the PC, so that could not possibly look good for me.
Yeah. It just looks really fun, and like you know, using each arm as the weapon and stuff, and I like the idea of that. But yeah, I have it on PC too, and obviously you aren't going to beat all the like mods and stuff you can get. But it does look really cool and interactive, and I was tempted to buy it, but again, it's just like I have this game like 3 times. Why?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this?
I think it's just a big money spin in it, and but.
So speaking of money spins, Nintendo Labo.
Is this the box thing?
Yeah, people paying for cardboard box stuff.
Yeah,
that you assemble into like robot suits.
But you're still making the same motions, right? You're still doing the same thing, am I right in saying that, as you would if you didn't have the box on?
Well, I think you need the boxes to actually play the games. Because with every box that you buy that does a different thing, there's also a game companion to that. So you're playing a game that's based around that, which that is probably the main reason why I think this is stupid. Because I know for a fact that these games are going to be gimmicky as hell and only fun for about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
like, I don't think these games are going to be like groundbreaking things.
They're going down a slippery slope, really, aren't they? I think
it sounds like a game that my little brother had, where you had to buy these little character figurine things.
Skylanders.
Skylanders, that's it. Yeah. It's that kind of concept, isn't it, really, where you have to buy something that physically that then interacts with a game. I'm guessing that's what it is, isn't it? You get the box and then you have that character in effect in the game. Which I'm not totally against the idea of it, I guess.
What if they bring out like 10 games for it and you've got like piles of boxes? That's not.
I think they'll probably fall back down, but how many times have you unboxed something and then tried to box it back up and it's like, oh shit, I've just bent the fuck out of that, basically.
You're just going to tear it loads, aren't you, when you're trying to open it up? Like, it's just going to be knackered.
Nintendo have stated, Josh, while you're making fun of how we're going to destroy these boxes, that it's very high quality cardboard.
Oh, shut up.
They have stated that it's high quality cardboard, so you've got nothing to worry about.
That's ludicrous.
Recycled out of ramen boxes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. That's ridiculous. It is a bit ridiculous, isn't it, really? But it'll have a niche market, I'm sure, because I'm sure the games use them will be shit. So it's something for kids in it, and it's for the under 10s market, I think.
So next story. The WHO, the World Health Organization, has added gaming disorder to its list of recognized disorders.
Oh dear.
You think this is a bad thing?
Go on.
You told us before that you haven't read the articles.
Yeah.
Let me just explain what it means. Basically, similar to any sort of like addiction or something like that, like gambling addiction. They're now recognizing that gaming can be an addiction. And this is basically to sort of classify that as something that needs to be, addressed with psychiatric help or whatever else.
Is this because of like loot boxes and stuff like that, though, or is it because of just pure gaming? Because I know that there were a big carry on about loot boxes being linked to it's gambling pretty much.
No, I think this is more to do with people in Korea playing StarCraft until they literally die of exhaustion.
Yeah,
which is a thing that happens like more than you expect, I think. And like World of Warcraft, things like that, where people are just spending days and days not eating right and stuff like that.
Yeah, they were that guy that died in World of Warcraft, weren't they? And the Horde, his Horde team like held a funeral for him in the game, and they were like carrying the shouldn't laugh. They were like carrying the coffin, and then the Alliance like came in. It was like a PvP server. And this little scoopy-doo-doo-doo-bop-bop tune came on, and they just attacked it and like destroyed the coffin and stuff.
Oh my god, that is ridiculous.
On the other hand, though, let's think about it like this: parents, I'm sure some parents are begging for an excuse to say, "No, gaming's harmful to my child. Not going to have anything like that." And this proves it. We're not going to let our kids, do any sort of gaming. I have no problem with it being on this list as long as we recognise that where's the watching soaps disorder? Watching Coronation Street disorder? To me, that's more of a disorder than gaming.
It's definitely a disorder,
that. Brain dead. But it's everything in moderation, isn't it? Like, you can do, like you say, you can get addicted to anything. People are addicted to like eating metal objects and stuff out there. There's some weird shit about.
Yeah.
But
it's the same thing no matter what the vice is. The issue is addiction, and I do think it can be a problem, gaming addiction, without a doubt. There's no doubt about it, actually, that it can be, and I can understand from maybe parents' points of views if they feel that it's getting out of hand and why that might be dangerous. And I think games are now more addictive than ever before, just because of the ability to create your whole social structure around games, which you could never really do before. Before
I don't know. I saw how addicted you were to Crazy Taxi when we were kids. I think your mum had to literally like beat you off of it.
Yeah, but that's
the people have a go now.
I always shared. Don't. And but do you see what I mean? Like, you could back then, even in an isolated incident like that, you could be so addicted to the game, but at some point you would have to come off the game and interact with real people in real life. Whereas now you don't have to at all, actually. You see, I think more and more nowadays, people where their whole social group and friends and everything, it's all online. They don't know any of them in person.
Yeah, you miss out. Like, I was having this discussion with my friend the other day. I miss just... We got a PS1 from the Retro Game Fair, a PS1 Slim. Nice. And we had a link up on that, and it was just nice to be able to play like split screen. It's something that you rarely get to do these days. So you can like have a beer together and play games instead of just being online. You know what I mean? Yeah. I do miss that.
Yeah, that's the social aspect of it. Yeah. Because in fact, social gaming, I think, it's come into our lives more than ever now, because on the Xbox or on the PlayStation, you've got all your social network. I know every time I log in to say Call of Duty to play it online, as soon as you log in, it's just you get blasted with news feed and social, what's going on in the game and all this,
and people saying, "I shagged your mum."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Crazy Texans on Gears of War.
Yeah, man.
But even though that's classed as social, I think it's very antisocial in a lot of ways, actually, because you are still hidden behind a screen, not having to be face to face with people.
Yeah.
And like you say, you miss out on that thing that's so great about gaming, where you just round with your mates, having a laugh.
Yeah.
Face to face interaction. We like the other night, Jake, for instance. After we'd Christmas Eve, when we came back round to mine at like 3:00 in the morning playing Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
But it was just great, wasn't it? Because you just with friends having a good laugh, and I think that doesn't happen probably hardly ever nowadays.
That's why the GameCube's like the best console ever, I think, because
such a great social console.
You got 4 pads. You can pick. It's literally got a handle on it that you can just carry about to your mates or whatever. It's quality.
Yeah, it's the ultimate social.
They're just getting a group of people together and playing.
So many good like multiplayer, fun, accessible multiplayer games as well.
Yeah.
What's that? Is that a pad adapter extension?
To multi-tap.
To multi-tap.
Saying GameCube's the best console, whatever.
I think it probably is, though, just in terms of that multiplayer fun factor. Because of the games more than anything. Like Smash Bros, for instance, is a game that anyone can just pick up and play and enjoy without even being any good. You can still get enjoyability out of it. Same with Mario Kart.
WarioWare is up there for me.
WarioWare, Mario Party.
Mario Party is as well.
Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
There's loads of these multiplayer games.
I think people need that excuse more, because you've got all your other social Facebook and all that stuff. But no, people don't have that excuse anymore to just say, "Oh, let's go back and do that."
Yeah.
Like let's go together and do. Like people more likely will be like, "Oh, I'll speak to you on Facebook when I get back home," kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy, man. It's Plato's Cave all over again. I'm telling you, they predicted this shit.
The healthcare system as well, just getting people in the system is good for them as well. And if they can put a name to something and give you a good reason why you need help, when in reality all you need is your mum to rip the console out of the wall and throw it down the stairs. It never does any harm. But that would be child abuse nowadays.
I never really thought of it from that angle, though. Like, especially in America, where the pharmaceutical industry is like, "Oh yeah, your kid has ADHD. Now give us money."
Exactly. Rather than actually the reality of it is they don't. It's just that, of course, something that's so engaging and enjoyable. Why would anybody not want to do that a lot? Especially as a kid, where you don't have to go to work and have responsibilities. You can just sit and play games all afternoon and you finish school. So,
correct me if I'm wrong though, and it got health benefits as well though. Like I'm sure I was reading a study not so long ago that was saying that it can like improve hand-eye coordination and things like that. So, like we were saying, it's moderation, man. Like people go out and get pissed every night, and
yeah, it's true.
Surely playing a video game is going to be better for him than that.
So we have one more news item to cover, and that is that Kingdom Hearts 3 will be getting a release date announcement at E3 this year.
Sweet.
Do you play Kingdom Hearts 3, Jimmy? Do you play Kingdom Hearts, should I say?
So, as you know, I'm like a mega Final Fantasy fan. Like, my Final Fantasy collection is pretty insane right now. And I've become a bit obsessed. I probably need, it's probably a disorder, like we've just been talking about.
You need to ring the World Health Organization.
Yeah, I think I need to ring the hotline.
Yeah, you could sue Square Enix,
Yeah.
That's a good
If Final Fantasy has become an addiction,
I'll sue them for becoming Square Enix and not sticking to Squaresoft. But I don't know. Like, I did play them, but for me, the Disney characters sort of ruined it. It's just strange. Like, I don't know, seeing Donald Duck pop up, and it just seems like this is so out of place right now. But I don't know. Each to their own.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Disney. Like, I love Disneyland and stuff, but I don't. Maybe I should give it another go. It has been a while, so probably will play this Kingdom Hearts 3.
The real reason I wanted to cover this is because I love to take the piss out of Square Enix announcing things.
All right.
Which they just love to announce things. They don't like making games. They just like announcing games. And obviously Kingdom Hearts 3 has been on, it was announced years and years ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
that they love to say, "Please be excited. Please be excited for our next announcement."
But you'll see this game in 25 years.
Yeah. So they've announced that they're going to announce a release date rather than just waiting for E3 and having it as a surprise and everyone being like, "Oh shit, we have a release date now." Yeah.
I can imagine Kingdom Hearts though have it. I mean, it's not my thing. I don't really play them. But I can imagine it having a really, really fanboy fan base.
Hell yeah.
People who are really, really massive fanboys for the game. And I guess those kinds of people will probably be loving it because it will be something for them to really look forward to and put in the diaries that date's coming up. And like Jimmy said, I think it's hyping it for those people, probably.
Yeah. Well,
then again, look at the Final Fantasy VII remake. That's been dragged out again and again, hasn't it?
Yeah, and people were just begging for it all the time. It shouldn't be happening. But yeah, there are people who will just love literally anything Final Fantasy related. That's why there are so many people that seem to love the character of Lightning, even though she's barely a character at all.
Fuck Lightning.
And just they love Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2, and they were just garbage at the end of the day. I Aaron chose the topic of the week this week. Well, it's to do with films. Let's get that out there straight away. But I think this can apply to gaming in some ways, like this kind of situation. And it's some charities to do with allergic reactions have complained and said that Peter Rabbit, the new film, should be taken out of the cinemas, should stop showing at cinemas, because there is a scene in the film where Peter Rabbit and his friends like throw strawberries at a guy who is allergic to strawberries. They're
trying to cancel the film because someone threw strawberries at someone.
That's allergic. He had an allergic reaction to it.
Yeah, but you see people. I don't understand the point of that, because he had an allergic reaction, but you have, I don't know, you have people running through fields in films, and people can have allergic reactions to that shit. Don't mean you take it out of the film.
This is the thing. There have been films since I can remember, when I was a kid, where people had allergic reactions. You are right. And I never was like, Aaron basically specifically said, well, kids will be confused and they might not know what to think about it. And that's making these people offended and stuff. And it's like, I wasn't some dumb kid who didn't know what an allergic reaction was. When I saw it in a film, I knew what it was.
And what about Dumb and Dumber, like when they put sauce and poison and stuff?
You know what? That is the exact example I thought in my head. That's the first example.
What a film. Didn't make me go poison my mates.
Exactly.
Basically, it made me think about the idea of, is it the film's job to educate a child about that kind of thing, or like a game's job to say, we're going to talk about something that you might not understand now? So like basically patronizing a kid.
I don't know, mate. It's silly in my eyes. It really is. It really is silly.
That's what.
Well, something that came to my mind is what about, say, Ratatouille, for instance? They're trying to kill that rat in that kitchen.
Exactly, mate. Yeah.
Where are the vegans on this? Where are
animal cruelty?
Animal rights. Is that right? Showing humans trying to kill rats and stuff, or should we not be teaching our children that? Free Willy, is an animal in captivity, in effect. Yeah. Should we really be showing that? Because is that teaching our children that we should keep whales in captivity? And the answer for me to all of that is no. That's not what these things are trying to say. I think children do a lot of their learning from watching films, from listening to what people say and do. And actually, I think what it's doing, other than just being a film, is maybe exposing people to the realities of the world.
Yeah.
These things happen. It's just reality. Yeah, some people are allergic to stuff and it can be dangerous for them. That's reality. I'm sure it don't portray... I mean, I would need to see the film, obviously, but I doubt very much, given that it's a PG film, that Peter, the rabbit, and his buddies start lobbing strawberries at whoever this guy's head is, and he starts like spazzing out on the floor and foaming at the mouth, and then they're all like, "Yeah, this is quality." This, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, definitely, man.
I doubt that's the way it's portrayed.
Kids know right from wrong. Well, most kids, unless they're not psychotic, you're born with a sense of, oh yeah, this is right and this is wrong, and they should know that, like, inflicting an allergic reaction on someone is wrong, and the film should sort of portray that. If it doesn't, then that's wrong in a way. But
I think that the guy who gets hit with the strawberries is trying to kill the rabbits.
Oh,
right. That's where I was kind of thinking, where is Aaron coming from here? Because the guy is attacking the rabbits.
So
they're wrong? Like throwing strawberries at him and laughing that he's suffering because he's a complete dick.
Yeah,
so
that's the comedy to it. It's not as if they're picking on some innocent person and just going, ha ha, allergic reaction. Yeah. What a nerd.
They're not like bullies, they're like protecting themselves.
Exactly.
So I don't see anything wrong with that, because that actually is teaching an important lesson. So most of these children's films, the reason, especially the good ones, it's because they're based on lessons, basically life lessons for children. They learn something from it. And it's basically, it's the old don't throw stones if you live in glass houses type moral. Yeah. So the idea is that this guy has a weakness and he's doing something nasty, and someone takes advantage of his weakness as a direct result of his nasty behaviour. Thus teaching the children that, you should be nice to people, because otherwise if they decide not to be nice back to you, then you might be exposed. Yeah, that's the basic moral behind the story, innit? So this guy's
if someone's trying to kill you,
throw strawberries
at yourself. Yeah, throw strawberries at that person,
and they might just be allergic if you're lucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a nonsense story, and it's just, again, political correctness, social justice warrior standing.
Pish.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Josh, with just how many examples you could come out with straight away. And there's thousands of examples you could just come out with of comedy in films that isn't necessarily something you would just go up to someone randomly and go, you have an ulcer, let's give you rat poison and kill you, like what happens in Dumb and Dumber. And it's like we're laughing at that character because of the context of the film, not just because of, arbitrary offense of like, oh, well, people have to live with that condition.
Yeah.
It's the context in it, as always.
And the fundamental behind it is, as well, for me, that the world isn't a great place where everybody's good and everybody does right, and you're never going to be exposed to anything that is dangerous or negative. And that's where I think films do have an important role for children, in that, you get a taste of these things. It's obviously a PG, so it's not traumatic in any sense, but it gives you an idea of the world that's around you. And I think if you wrap people up too much, it doesn't stand them in good stead when they do go out into the world. I think if you teach children that, do you know what, it is all... It's the exact reason why you will never find a children's film, a Disney film or anything like that doesn't have a villain in it. Because...
To teach them right from wrong.
Yeah, to teach them right from wrong, ultimately. To show them that, do you know what, some people are not so great, but there's lots of great people, and the great people always win. That's the message. And whilst we know that's not always true in the real world, that's a good message for children to have, really, because it's showing them that, they do need to be careful. Most people are nice, but some people are not. But if you be nice, then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And if we start, what they're going to do? They're just going to bring out a film where people just go and have a tea party and absolutely nothing happens in the film other than people having a great time. Nobody's going to want to watch that. It's silly. It's so silly, and I can't believe, even though, of course, our dear friend Aaron does often put forward, and it's a shame he's not here to defend himself, so I'm not going to lay into him too much, but even though he does often side on the side of the argument that he has in this case, I'm even still a little surprised that he has in this instance, that he can't see the point that we're making here.
That's it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching us, or listening, if you're listening to the MP3 of this podcast. Thank you for Jimmy for joining us for the first time.
No worries, man. No worries.
Thank you, Josh, for joining us.
Cheers, guys. See you next time.
Am I okay? Sorry. Am I okay to give a shout out for this event on Sunday?
Yeah, you can do.
Or it might be next Sunday, but if you are listening and you're from Leeds, there's a retro gaming event this Sunday, next Sunday. You can follow me on Instagram, Jintendo, and we're going to be hosting our first competition, a Smash Bros. Melee on the GameCube. Come down, play, have fun, have a beer, have a laugh. Let's do this.
Social gaming, guys.
This Sunday and next Sunday, did you say?
Yeah, it's going to be every weekend, but I'm just speaking to my manager at the moment, and he's saying we might need to do next weekend now, but I'm getting it organised tonight. So if you just follow Jim Tender on Instagram, I'll have it up and posted on there.
Well, once again, I'm going to click the stop broadcast button. and hope to hell that this has all been recorded.